Skullsmost.com, I'm Metal Mark, here with Andrea from Lacuna Coil.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Ready for rock. Ready to rock.
Ready to rock, man. Obviously, this tour just kicked off a few days ago.
Yep. It's first week, actually.
First week, yeah. I mean, has it been everything you expected so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The lineup is great. I mean, we're getting along pretty well with all the bands, all different bands. Like every band is different to each other, and so far so good. People's coming to the show, so it's all great.
Well, obviously, the two members that have left, now being with them for 15 years, being on stage, looking around, they're not there. Is it still kind of weird for you? You still trying to get used to it?
It is a little bit, especially for the second guitar player, because the drummer Ryan, is the guy we have now on drums, has been touring with us since a couple of years now, because Chris had a baby girl, so he just did up and down some shows with us, but not really touring constantly with us. So we were used to have him as a drummer, but not having, and now especially because now I have the other guy on my side instead of Pizza. I have Mouse on my side, so that's a little weird. But we decided to keep it simple and just the four of us in the front, so just one guitar and bass and me and Christina. Because we thought was more of a natural approach to for now at least, you know, we want to just be the four of us becoming more of a tight unit and then see what's coming. But I mean, it's been something sad on one side, because after many years, you know, it's not easy. But on the other hand, I'm happy for the other guys, because they decided to change their life. You know, it wasn't that we got a fight or something. We just last year, when it was time to plan the next promotional cycle for the new album, we've been put in front of a lot of tour dates to do, you know, a lot of months on the road, and they just didn't want to do it anymore. You know, they just felt that it was the right time for them to change, you know, to move to something else. And after 15 years, there's nothing I can say. You know, they've done all the great things with us. We will always be friends anyway. Chris, actually, the drummer, is still our webmaster and doing our internet stuff. So. I mean, I will see them not on stage, you know, not on tour, some other occasion, but I can only say thank you, you know.
I love like how the band handled it, because you see nowadays when people leave, there's always negativity, but you made sure with the statement that this is still all about love. We really
want them to be part of the statements as well, with their own personal farewell and everything, because it's the way it happens. You know, it was sad, of course, because it's not easy to, as a personal. To a personal level, it's not easy to take, but there was no problem. It's not the music, it's not that we don't get along, it's just the fact that they want to change their life, you know, and it's totally understandable. After all these years, I can't say, no, why you do it, you're betraying us.
You're coming!
No, I mean, I totally get it, and it was the best for them, and probably the best for us. It's good to be, if you want to do this, you need to be really focused on being, and you know, wanting to be on the road and traveling. And so if you don't want to do that anymore, you really feel it inside the unity of the band. You know?
Well, obviously, better news is the new album is hitting April 1st here in the States. Broken Crown Halo. You're playing what, two songs?
Yeah, two new songs. Yeah.
Obviously, being in the studio and finally getting to play these songs live, it's got to be such a relief for you guys.
It's great, because, exactly. It's a relief, but it's also, you know, the first gig we were, okay, new lineup, new songs, and you know, a lot of new things all together, so it wasn't easy. But now that it's like the 5th or 6th show, it feels way more natural and flowing, and we were able to make it happen. You know, now we really feel the songs are getting tight and the band is getting tighter, so this tour is really important to make the new lineup work well together, and in perspective to the future, and when the album will be out and more touring will come, to be a better band for sure.
Very cool. Obviously, with every band or with every album, the sales have gone up and up and up. Dark Adrenaline was huge for you guys. Going into writing and recording this album, does that put any extra pressure? After 7 albums, you're like, let's just do it?
No, I mean, the pressure is more on inside the band. I think, you know, the way we want to become better songwriter, better musician, better singers, better performers. Not as much from the outside, especially with Century Media, our label. We never got pressure from them to write this kind of album or this kind. Most of the time they actually hear just the final mixes, so they don't. They've been always very cool to us and never really interfere with the songwriting, or with just very free. So the pressure was all on inside ourselves to know that we're gonna have a better record or a different record again, you know. So it's important for us to keep it fresh, you know, to be a contemporary band. We don't want to sound like, okay, we've done 7 albums, so we keep repeating the same album over and over. Of course, you can recognize the band, the style of the band is that, but we try to make it interesting for ourselves first, and then also for the people, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we've heard the 2 songs, but is there other songs in the album that may mean more to you personally?
Yeah, there are, every song has a different mood. There are many different type of songs, more intimate, more straightforward. So of course there are more personal songs, but in general it's an album that really reflects the past couple of years of our private lives.
Yeah.
So it's very personal anyway. And even if we wrote the lyrics with kind of a lot of metaphors from movies, from horrors and action movies, we still have our own deeper meaning to each song, you know. But in general, they're all pretty self-portraying the people that is in the band.
So I heard that you like recorded it in like an old castle, or like
not a castle. It was a studio, but
studio?
it's a very old vintage studio,
okay.
like really old. And the owner, it's in Milan, our hometown in Italy, and the owner is a prog rock musician from a band from the 60s and 70s, one of the first prog rock band from Italy. They actually toured also the States and Japan. It's called a PFM. And so when we went to the studio, we recorded in Milan just because we needed to be home for personal reasons. And instead of recording in the States, we recorded in Milan. And then we discovered that this guy has a huge collection of vintage guitar and vintage amps and a lot of pedals and stone boxes and effects. Nice. So he brought out all these, can I show you this? Can I show you that? And so the sound engineer, Kyle, he got crazy with all these like 60s Gibson, 70s Fenders, and we've been using a lot of one echo that was used by Led Zeppelin on drums, or Pink Floyd on guitars. So it was cool to just play around, and that affects a lot the production of the album. Actually, instead of focusing more on the song structure, we focused a lot on the actual sound of the record, and we're using all this vintage gear, even if we recorded in a modern technology like Pro Tools, like the usual. But we've been really using a lot of stuff that probably if we wouldn't be in that studio, we'd never use. You know, we'd just go with our usual gear. You know. So it affects the sounds a lot.
Very cool. So you said there'll be a lot of touring this year. Is that pretty much the plan for the rest of this year? Is just live on the road again?
Yeah. We still don't have all the dates confirmed, but we know we're gonna be in America till at least middle of May, in between radio festivals and some headline shows and some other special shows, and then go to Europe for the summer festivals, and probably then back to the States and Europe for headlining tours. And so there will be a lot of touring.
Very cool. Well, for the last question, obviously throughout the career, you've toured with like Motorhead, you've toured with Volbeat, you've toured with Megadeth millions of times, but you've toured with other bands to where your sound, you can play with pretty much any type of band.
Yeah, true.
Is that still like on your mindset right now, just to keep it to where?
I think it's cool. Like we play not only tours but also festivals. Like we play for example, the Gothic Treffen festivals in Germany, which is a super EBM electro dark festival. Yeah. But we also play Oddsfest, and we also play Music as a Weapon. You know, so many different Gigantour. Yeah. And then we play with Dimmu Borgir and In Flames, and we play with Typo Negative and POD. Yeah. So that's something we love about our music, is that it can really appeal to a lot of different people, from rock to metal. You know, sometimes it's also more difficult to get people to understand what we do. You know, because we change a lot, But I like the fact that we are very open, because the bands that we were looking up to were bands like Fate No More, that were really open to all kind of rock, you know, and that's something that inspired us, other than just the goth metal, like Typo Negative, Paradise Lost kind of place where we come from, for sure, you know. Very cool.
For the fans out there, if you could say anything about this new record that would make them want to buy it on April 1st right away, what would it be?
It's great.
It's great.
No, it's a great album. And it's different again, but it also portrayed a lot of emotion. So it's a very emotional album for us. So I think if you're looking for something that is not just new music, you know, sometimes you have albums that are great because the musicians are great. This album is very personal. There's a lot of life experiences. So if you want to share the feeling, it's a great album to try to listen to.
Very cool, Andrea. Thank you very much. Broken Count Halo is out April 1st on Citrus Media. Check it out.